my friends, it's 10 o'clock. I'm such a late owl. In the morning I can't wake up, in the night I'm sitting and doing everything until I'm done, and then I'm doing videos. So it will be posted in the morning. Today is 21st, 22nd, so tomorrow will be 23rd. I did a list of things that Putin miscalculated. That's a huge list. I was surprised how many miscalculations he did for someone who was so long in the power. So I noticed that you can see the list under the video on the right side on the solar. It's the arrow going down. You click on it and then go down, scroll down, and there is a time that they are writing what I was saying. Wonderful. I didn't before knew that, so you can check, and it's time and what I'm saying. And if you want to go back to that place, you can click on it and it will take you to that spot. YouTuber and don't know anything. Okay, all those things on the list will bite Putin cheeks for entertainment only. The cheeks that he is sitting on, not the cheeks that he is giving Botoxes. So those are his miscalculations. First, he thought that Trump will stay in the power and that Trump will remove USA from United Nations. Didn't go his way. He lost about 7 generals so far, 50 days of war, of 50 few, and he lost so many generals. He lost 150 people who were at top ranking because he replaced them. He didn't trust them. There was some reason for him to know that he can't trust them. Maybe some conspiracy. Eventually history will teach us that there was something going on. Without reason, he wouldn't dismiss 150 top ranking officers. And then he lost his freedom for the ships, his ships to go to the ports of United Nations. So one of his ships is seized in Greece. That's a big mistake. He lost access to Western banks. He lost that they put restriction on his bank so they can't do the transactions that easy. So freedom of trading. He lost the value of his ruble, nearly to minimum. He lost his flagship. That's a huge, big mistake. He thought that he is not visible on the port, and he lost the ship. He told that most of those, that everyone was safe from the ship. No, the cook's father is saying openly that that's not true. He couldn't find any trace of his son. So there is probably more. Not everyone is brave to say it, but eventually people will be talking. And the propaganda is one thing that is working for him so far. Propaganda never lasts forever. He was very disappointed that Ukrainians will not let him in with open arms and make him feel like he could conquer them in 3 days. That was big disappointment, that those people are standing up to him, that he is not welcome. His regime is not popular in Ukraine. People want to have freedom. He didn't take that in consideration. So he didn't thought that they will stand up to him. This one is. He never thought that Zelensky will make a very smart move by letting the women to leave the country with children, especially at the beginning. That was the small mother with small children. They were living in Poland. I'm from Poland. There is over 2.7 million of Ukrainians. Other countries has so it's about 5 million that already ran away from the country. And Putin didn't thought that Zelensky will do that. Usually the guys will be running with wives. Only the men who have more than 3 or more kids, then they can leave the country. If someone doesn't have that many children, those guys have to stay. And the men without women are more brave. They feel that they want to fight to the last bullet, so they are fighting much more vigorously. So he didn't thought he didn't thought that will happen. He never thought that China. He thought that China will start their own battle somewhere else. In next video, I will talk more about China. So he thought that they will be spreading the worries on 2 fronts, and that will happen. I'm worried that China will start doing something, but right now I'm talking what the mistakes that Putin did. So he didn't took that under consideration. He thought that they will go together with China at the same time. He didn't realize how warm the winter was this year, and the tanks were sinking in the muds. He didn't thought about this. He didn't thought that the world will be so supportive related to giving the Ukrainians so much army support. He never thought that would be to that point. No one knew, because that was never happened before, that some country will be giving that amount of money and military support. Even the countries are not actively in Ukraine, but they are sending so much support. And the other thing today I learned that 4 of his oligarchs was killed in the 5 weeks that the war, 50 days that the war started. So the other oligarchs are afraid of it. They are started to uniting themselves. They don't know if they are the next, that the whole family will be dismissed from the earth, because that's what's happened. All of them are killed, not only one person, but the family as well. So one was in Spain, but I think the rest was in Russia. That's a mistake, because he is causing himself to have more enemies, and those are not shy people. They are very powerful people. They have the resources. They have the bodyguards. They can sometimes make themselves much more powerful, and they might have access to some Russian mafia. Just guessing. And all those things will bring Putin to his end. When I had video with Linda, I just showed that card that I wrote, that will be end of Putin's. I think that's what will start going on, and now I will be answering your questions. Why Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy changing their minds, and instead of voting for Trump impeachment, they make other GOP not to vote for Trump. So they changed their minds. What was the reason? We know that Mitch McCain was talking with Trump, and Kevin went to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring, and then he was quiet. When I closed my eyes, I saw 2 black envelopes. Blackmail, so they were blackmailed. Maybe Putin was helping him to blackmail them. They know some secrets about them. And I will pull 3 cards to know more. And hopefully my spirit guides will be, They started to be worried about the secrets related to money. They were either they want to stay in the position, so they cut on attacking Trump. First, they were both open-minded. They were saying what they thought after January 6th. Sooner they opened. And this is my question. Today, Margaret Tyler Green was testifying, and I was watching a little bit. I can't stand that woman. And her body language, whenever she will say a sentence and we know that she is lying, she is saying she don't remember, loss of memory, she is making that mouth shut up, like subconsciously. So that's the body language. You can see that she's, I'm not going to say anything more. It's like her brain is telling her, be quiet. So, can someone work for Congress who has such amnesia or dementia in that early age? How can she be a congresswoman? I'm doing so many videos, 600 something. And most of the time I know which questions I answered. I might not always remember what I said because it's impossible. She is doing this for her financial benefits. We can't trust her. Definitely we can't trust her. 7 of Swords. And she should be outsider, not insider in Congress. They should remove her. They might not, because she has connections on the GOP, and the more weird she is, they love it more. AV, Russia is captured 2 British soldiers. And thank you everyone for your questions. I love it, thank you. Russia has captured 2 British soldiers and went to exchange them for Viktor Medrochuk, who is Ukrainian prisoner. That's the maybe even billionaire. And he had that golden train. So they want to exchange him. The Russians want to exchange him for those 2 British soldiers. But Zelensky is saying that he wants to exchange them for Mariupol humanitarian aid. What will happen with those British soldiers? I think eventually they will reach the freedom, but I saw a little girl, so it might take, and the girl was probably 2-3 years old, so it might take a long time until that will happen. But would they be eventually free? Magician, that's the best card. So something good will happen. They will be sitting and waiting. And symbol of 2, so maybe 2 months to 2 weeks, 2 years. And that will be a new president of Russia. So we have to wait for that. Somehow I think it will be in 2 years that Putin will be out. Angela M., do you see the Ukrainian war ending just before the European summer begins? And when I closed my eyes, I saw a sword in the ground. that was usually a symbol of starting the war, but the war is already on in my country. Or the symbol of stopping the war. Sometimes it was for the night even to stop the war. They will put the sword in the ground, the battle. So the people who are fighting, they could take a relax. I think this time it will be some negotiation that they will be doing. Maybe they will have some people from other countries as peacekeepers. But Putin might be still a winner by summer. Still not. So what the cards will tell me. Russia will have to lean for the money somehow. It's all about money. We need to know how long they can have the money to fight and the harvest. So maybe before fall, the symbol of harvest is the 10 of coins, so the apple blooming. So maybe by fall, I hope sooner, but we never know. That's what I'm seeing. And both cards are showing the symbol of tree with, so 7 of coins and 10 of coins, symbol of tree. So maybe, but with the fall, I think it will be more on the fall. Cheryl, will Don Jr. distance himself from his father? Will he purge himself? Don Jr. is going to testify to January 6th committee. And I saw him fighting. He will be fighting like a crazy maniac. So I think he will lose. They will lose respect for him. Excuse me. Allergy season is coming. And so, and they will prove to him that he is lying. Will he purge himself? Beginning of some new adventure, but symbol of fall. So he will make fool of himself. The secrets will come out. And actually he will be hurting himself more than doing a good job. I don't expect too much from him. Again, Cheryl, my girlfriend, is asking, will Alex Jones get immunity as he is asking for? And I saw a full moon for him. So I think they will let him to say what he will be able to offer, and he will pretend that he is traitor, but then he will pull out and he will make more mess than anything else. So I don't think his immunity will be removed. So he will be even in more troubles after. I don't see like clean cut for him to run his program and be a traitor for Trump. He thinks he can ride on 2 horses because chariot is symbol to controlling 2 horses. I don't think so, honey. They will have to sign legal papers, and then he will be actually putting himself more in jeopardy than he is understanding. 8 of Swords is symbol of feeling like a prisoner. Not a good card for him. Will Putin go after Moldavia? I know someone else asked me that, and I, don't know where I put that. I have so many questions all over because I want to find the one that might interest you. So I don't remember who asked that question. I see Moldavia being attacked by Russians. It is that They are not in United Nations. They are vulnerable. And they have such an easy access from Ukraine. If Putin will take the south of Ukraine, that will be very easy for southeast to go to Moldavia. King of Love, he likes that place because it's beautiful. The sun will be shining on him and poor people will be crying. They wanted to live in peace, and it's a poor country, beautiful but poor. Joanne Cooks, are remote viewers able to see Putin every move? We can't prove that. And everyone who is, and every remote viewer will be targeting different time, different area. Not everyone. The proof will be only with psychic visions. If I said something to my son, that watch yourself because you will be in trouble, and he was only 16, and he was going for a part. He didn't even know where he's going. I warned him. And until the next day, I didn't know. He came at 2 o'clock in the night, and he said that they had problem, but it cost him only $50. But if I wouldn't warn him, it would be a lot of more. So, it is that we can predict, we can spot it on it, but we can have the proof until someone else will come to us and say, oh, you were right. Or the newses will say, you were correct. Not before. Before, we are just saying what comes to our mind. We are sending the message because we think that's what's happened. But we need to receive the confirmation eventually to know that we were right. So the remote viewers are just in the black cloud, so they are thinking that they see, but they can't really pinpoint until they are proven that they were aiming the right target. What the cards will say. That's the reason when you are starting doing psychic things, you have to write to yourself what predictions you are doing. Sometimes I was writing an envelope and putting, so I will predict something and then I will open and with the date when to open or what is the subject, but I wouldn't wrote in, So I was checking myself how good. Yeah, they have to be careful, just balancing, because it's not an easy path to do it. Of course, when they are right, they are so happy to celebrate, and that builds the self-esteem. You feel more confident more and more. When you have people who are very supportive of you in your family, then you can be more open and more happy that you are who you are. But it takes a bravery to say that moment what you feel, that it will be right. You can't always say something and then think, oh, it was something that I was... And sometimes we have to be vulnerable. It doesn't matter. We have to let ourselves to be vulnerable. If we are lucky, we are less and less vulnerable. And Mrs. Marie, you wrote to me in the comments that you sent me a video on my email. I didn't receive that one, so please send again if you can. I would like to answer your question, but I didn't get the video. And SB is wondering why I wear so many rings. Are they keeping me grounded while channeling? I love rings. I believe that the silver is protecting me from arthritis. My mother had really bad arthritis. I don't, but all my life, I was always drawn to big rings. And silver or gold. Gold apparently is better, but I prefer silver. And I feel protected by those stones. I have little angels on my pinky. So there is one angel on this one and angel on this one. So I feel they protect me. Then the big one is it's a pearl with mother of pearl. It's a huge one, and it's from the ocean, bottom of the ocean. So I think I'm connected, grounded somehow. And that's just my feeling. This is the big one is the Super 7 stone. They call this psychic stone. So it's has so many different minerals. It's not, that stone was not well known until 2000 something, and it's from Brazil. So check yourself on Google. You can Google Super 7, and I feel that it's giving me some protection. Honestly, I feel those stones are giving me protection, and I'm charging them when it's a full moon. Amethysts are, those two first ones are amethyst and a moonstone. I think the moonstone is connecting me with the moon. Amethysts are opening my top chakra, which is psychic chakra. Every ring that I'm buying or I'm getting, it's somehow giving me some advantage in my mind. Isn't that true? I don't know, but it's helping me. So it's up to you. And I have two rocks always in my bra for protection. One is Shiva Eye, and this one looks like a Shiva Eye as well. This one, it's mother of pearl. This one, and it has like an eye. So it's when you find the stones that looks like a human eye or whatever eye, it's for protection. Always bless. Never wear before you will put them to be charged by moon. Spray them with the water and with salt, and make your prayers. Ask the moon to protect you, and it will protect you. Okay, and Angela Barnes is saying a spoonful of sugar makes the hiccups go away. And someone else eventually wrote that too. So Irene Liquor is asking, Christine Bolin, if someone is allergic to bee sting, they should carry always Bounce Original scent dryer, those white things that you are putting in the dryer. Carry this around you, and it's supposed to protect you, and you will smell nice. So I'm always putting them in our trailer when we're going, because after whole winter you like to have a nice fresh scent, so I'm putting everywhere, and they keep a nice smell for quite a while. And then Irene Liquor, do you have any remedies for losing hair? I don't use that, but I found that you can make your own rosemary oil. Take 5 sticks of rosemary, wash them, dry them, then pull those needles, put them in half cup of virgin oil in double boiling pot. So double boiling pot, you have a water in one pot, and then the other pot is suspended on top of that. It's touching the water, so it's hot, but it's not that it will touch the heating. So it will never be overheated. So put those needles in that oil, half cup of virgin oil and 1 spoon of castor oil. Both of those oil has the really good remedies for helping with to protect your scalp and stimulate your scalp so the hair will be growing, especially for women who has braided, those braids. They are sometimes pulling. I was doing reading for one lady, and she said she thinks that she lost so much hair because the braids were too tight, and it was, the lady who was doing this, she did probably wrong way, too tight, and they were hurting her skin and pull at so many hairs. So put that oil in the in the dropper, those when you have 1 drop or 2 drops. So they take 3 drops and move with your finger between hairs, and that way you can, and then massage. I'm doing sometimes with, I gave on the previous video that I'm doing the massage with castor oil and egg, and lemon. So I'm doing that as well. So that was a previous video about hair. Maybe that will help you. And I want to do the prayers. I'm surrounded by so many rocks. Call me crazy. We have to pray for peace on the earth, for security. Today is St. Mary's Day, and Mariupol has the St. Mary name. It's related to Mary. So we want to send peace to that place and security for those people who are in the steel factory and everyone who is suffering from that war, who is feeling unsafe, insecure, and worried that they can lose their life or being injured. Everyone in Ukraine and all over the world who is ever experiencing some hunger or illnesses or feeling vulnerable, we want to send them good energy. Even to Chinese people who are on lockout and they can't get food, they are starving. We want to send them energy as well, good energy. Stay safe, stay positive. Be happy that we are living where we are living so far is quiet. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.